People are royally bad at predicting the future, but we haven't only been wrong about what we imagined could happen. Mankind has a long history of falsely convincing itself that certain, now inescapable facts would never occur. In this video, we're looking at one of those imminent dangers to our survival as a species. Will AI, like Skynet in the Terminator films, one day take control and destroy us all? Let's find out. To start with, the AI threat is more plausible than you'd think. Obviously, we live in a nuclear world, and you're probably holding a computer or two right now. In reality, those computers, as well as the exponential developments in computing in general, are currently the topic of some of society's most high-stakes forecasts. Popular opinion says that ever-increasing computing capability will be a blessing to humanity, but what if we're incorrect once more? Could artificial intelligence instead bring us significant harm? Are we going to go extinct? Okay, apologies for all the loony doomsday prepper stuff, but as history teaches us, never say never, it appears that computers will soon surpass humans in intelligence. This is at least one prophecy that we can be very certain of since we're practically living through it right now. Many AIs have achieved superhuman capabilities in certain tasks such as Scrabble, chess, and poker, where humans now consistently lose to the bot across the board. However, improvements in computer science will result in systems with greater broad intelligence, algorithms capable of tackling complicated issues across several disciplines. Consider a single algorithm that can not only defeat a chess grandmaster, but also write a novel, produce catchy music, and navigate city traffic. You get the gist. According to a 2014 study, there is a 50% possibility that human-level machine intelligence will be achieved by 2050, and a 90% chance that it will be achieved by 2075, and we're already becoming a long way since then. What's more, there is one person that is pretty worried about the AI threat. Humans one day being under the AI heel is an age-old concern in speculation fiction, but it's been turning into a fiery debate as of late. In his most recent venture, philosopher and historian Emil Torres argues in the Washington Post that yes, we should be afraid. The specific fear is that an artificial superintelligence, a power that greatly surpasses humanity's cognitive capacity, may be the cause of humanity's demise, since we will be unable to foresee or control its activities. Torres's concerns, and believe us that there are many, are that if we build an AI to promote world peace and it hacks the government systems to explode every nuclear weapon on the earth, thinking that if there are no humans, there can be no war, yes, we could expressly design it not to do that, but what about its plan B? Of course, whether or not such technology will ever exist is a big if, but Torres believes it's very likely owing to exponential developments in computing, and that we should be concerned because of how important it could be. Even a single AI project being successful would perhaps be the most momentous event in human history, the historian stated, or perhaps would suddenly be joining on the Earth by something far more clever than us. That is, although technology may help us treat diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's or clean up the environment, it may also turn against us and choose to wipe us out entirely. Not to mention, a major aspect of their fear is that the AI is unpredictable. No research institution surely would deliberately develop a malignant Terminator-style AI hellbent on annihilating mankind, right? Unfortunately, that isn't the issue. If an AI annihilates us all, it will be very definitely by an accident. The Avengers level oopsie, if you will. Because AI's cognitive architectures may differ fundamentally from ours, they may be the most unknown aspect of our future. Consider the AIs that are currently outperforming humans in video games. In 2018, an algorithm won the Atari game Qbert by using a loophole that no human player is thought to have ever discovered. Another program became adept at digital hide-and-seek thanks to an unexpected strat that no one saw coming. If we can't predict what algorithm playing children's games would do, how can we trust the behavior of a computer with problem-solving abilities well beyond those of humans? In reality, there are an infinite number of ways for AI to fix global issues with catastrophically terrible effects. No matter how comprehensive the limits on the AI conducts are, bright thinkers employing their simple human-level intellect can frequently uncover ways for things to go extremely wrong, so you can guarantee an AI could do much better at being worse than humans. Finally, the AI threat does sound more like human insecurity, really. The idea that an AI will learn from the worst aspects of human nature and history says less about AI and more about humanity. Are you afraid of an AI going turbo-fascist and wiping out anything it deems as a lesser species off the face of an Earth? Well, you'd be surprised to know that humans have already accomplished that. They're accomplishing this as we actually speak. All the environmental degradation, species going extinct, minorities being subjected to brutality every day, killed in broad daylight, it's not that an AI would learn from these things. It's that humanity, especially its most privileged constituents, will finally get the short end of the stick. Why don't we talk about how AI could be much more compassionate and kind than humans can ever be? Maybe because these think piece writers really aren't able to identify these qualities within themselves first to be able to then project them onto an AI. Not to mention that AIs built on the GPT-3 API and trained on Wikipedia are already showing these qualities. So should you live in fear of a potential AI takeover? Absolutely not. That kind of technophobia never really helped anybody. What can help though is ensuring that people get their due rights with their safety guaranteed and their material needs fulfilled. Now moving on to other news. First up, there's a conspiracy theory going around about AI robots killing Japanese scientists. The internet adores a good conspiracy theory, and there's a new one to add to the list. Linda Moulton Howe, a journalist and conspiracy theorist, delivered the story at the Conspicuous Life Expo in Los Angeles back in February 2017, and a clip from the event recently went viral. Howe describes a phone call she made when she was a former Marine who was working for the CIA. In her speech concerning artificial intelligence and extraterrestrial encounters, she says that last week, 4 bots being designed for military uses at a major robotics company in Japan murdered 29 people in the lab. The frightening bit, according to Howe, is that lab employees disabled 2 of the robots and disassembled the 3rd. However, the 4th robot began rebuilding itself and linked to an orbiting satellite to obtain instructions on how to reconstruct itself even stronger than before. Let's be real though, if 29 scientists died in Japan laboratory, the story would be very certainly a huge one, circulated pretty fast throughout the world. Whether or not anybody investigates Howie's story, it's safe to assume that this won't be the last weird AI conspiracy to proliferate on the internet. Up next, a startup is using artificial intelligence to change the accents of call center workers. When Sorry to Bother You was released, we knew it was only a matter of time until some of the film's dystopian predictions became reality. However, we have to admit that AI that turns real-time speech into a cookie-cutter, whitewashed accent is at least a little bit aggravating. According to SFGATE, a business named Sanus provides accent translation, which helps contact customer personnel who are often employed overseas where labor is less, and hence have non-American accents sound more acceptable to American ears. Sanus promised on its website that it uses AI to give contact center staff the option of making their accents sound more like, quote, normal American English, a decision that will, according to the company's marketing, enable these workers to reclaim the power of their own voice. Now, let's be honest here, there's hardly anything in the call center labor process that allows workers to choose. Client racism is already a problem, and it's likely to rise if workers are further dehumanized by putting an app between them and the customer, especially because the program will undoubtedly make mistakes. This is just a bad idea all around. To wrap things up, an AI-generated painting just won a fine arts competition. According to Vice, someone entered the Colorado State Fair's fine art category with an AI-generated artwork and won first place, infuriating artists everywhere. The piece, titled Theatre d'Opera Spatial, displays a sci-fi-inspired opera performance. Jason Allen, who submitted the artwork, created it using Midjourney. This just demonstrates how far technology has progressed, reigniting the contentious argument over the concept of art and what makes an artist an artist. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think an AI could overthrow mankind? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.